Well, for every one blood donation, up to 3 lives can be saved. Tonight, Memorial Blood Centers is announcing a blood emergency in the Northland as we head into the holidays.
And so to make giving the gift of life easier for people, Memorial Blood Centers is on the move, welcoming a new member of its fleet today with the celebration at St. Luke's.
Northern News Now's Sophia Lauber learned how the big red bus will help save lives in the Northland and why it comes at a crucial time.
For Memorial Blood Centers, the benefit of the new bloodmobile is simple.
It allows us to go into our greater community.
They held a ribbon-cutting ceremony at St. Luke's to celebrate the new bus, which will be replacing an older one retiring from the fleet. The bloodmobile will cover a 3-hour radius from Duluth, giving communities throughout the Northland the opportunity to save lives. Beyond increasing accessibility, bloodmobiles simplify logistics for Memorial Blood Centers.
They're also very convenient for going to businesses, churches, schools, because we do have an inside setup where we can bring in, it looks like a little mini health clinic, but those take a lot more planning, and these bloodmobiles are just so convenient.
Coach 115, affectionately nicknamed Clifford, is hard to miss. Today, it's parked outside St. Luke's, giving employees a convenient place to donate blood just steps from their door.
From St. Luke's, the bus will hit the road right in time for the holiday season, which is historically a slow time for blood donation. Given their current supplies, those with Memorial Blood Centers have issued a blood emergency in anticipation of their reserves running low. When that happens, Memorial Blood Centers will often ask hospitals to cut back, and in dire situations, they will bring in blood from their greater network. Jennifer Alaspa's team manages the blood supply at St. Luke's, and she's personally experienced the life-saving aspect of a blood donation.
On a personal note, I also had a postpartum hemorrhage when I gave birth to my son 22 years ago, and I would not be here without a blood transfusion. I got to be a mom because of that.
She knows that the supply comes one donor at a time, and those with Memorial Blood Centers hope Clifford will encourage many more to climb aboard. In Duluth, Northern News Now, Sophia Lauber.
If you're interested in donating this holiday season, you can visit our website to find a blood drive near you.
In Northwest